Weirdly, we haven't reviewed this.
I know.
We didn't review it in the Guild?
Nope. Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
Deferential Dylan.
That's the new music.
Just put that on repeat.
Editor's note. All right, and welcome to yet another episode of our Ultimate Spirits competition, our quest to review every single sipping spirit on the face of the planet and subject it to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. And in this episode, Old Granddad 114.
So why are we doing this? We're actually trying to cleanse our palate from the previous train wreck.
Maybe. Well, we've never done it. We've never reviewed it. And this is one of those bottles that's been out there for so long. It's 114 proof. It's a Jim Beam product, and it's like $30. So let's give it a try, huh?
I love it.
I love it.
All right, let's take a look at the bottle first. Look at that. Old Granddad. You know who Old Granddad is? 114.
Who is it, Dutch?
It is, isn't it Basil Hayden?
Basil's Hayden?
Yeah, there's the back. Lot number 1. I think they all say that.
Oh.
Like I said, I think I got this bottle for like $32 maybe. Big fat cork, you know? Look at that. It's massive. It's got a big old pour spout so you can just drink a lot of it. Maybe I can pour better. Hey, not bad. Ooh. Dylan, you got anything else or not?
Yeah, so this is Basil Hayden Sr., right? It's named after him. This
He is Old Granddad.
He's the granddad.
Right. So this is one of those like secrets that have been kept in the bourbon community for a very long time. We all know it's...
Open secret.
Yeah, I mean, for the price point, you get pretty good flavor profile. You get
114 proof.
Yeah, and it's a very high proof. Back in the day when high proof wasn't really, prevalent and all these like little distilleries were trying to usurp the legacy.
I did spill
but yeah, when this used to sit on the shelf, but like bourbon enthusiasts and connoisseurs really appreciated this availability. So I'm excited to try it.
You've had it before.
Yeah, I've had.
I'm excited to score it. I've never put pen to paper, like, actually to score it.
Yeah, analyze
it many times, but all right, let's get into it, guys.
Yeah. Wow. Going back to
your childhood.
Yeah, it's going back like that scene from Ratatouille.
Nope.
Where Anton Ego bites into that ratatouille, and he just like gets this flashback.
Yeah,
that's what I get when I'm nosing this. I'm like, going back 20 years. Nice. It's like introduction to bourbon.
Looks like Benjamin Button. Older.
It's more like Dorian Gray, right?
Ooh, dark.
Well done.
All right, guys, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored it independently. We haven't discussed our scores at all. We haven't revealed our scores. We're going to do that in just a second. First, Jules is going to tell you everything you need to know about our scoring system. Actually, not really, but he's going to tell you a little bit about it.
Enough. 10 categories that add up to 100 points, usually about 10 points each. Usually. That include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. Flavor will weigh at 20 points. Aesthetics and value at 5 points each. You can medal on competition if you get 16 up. Go from bronze, silver, gold to diamond.
My initial score. Now, of course, this is just our initial scores. Things can change as we discuss it. They can go up, they can go down. We never know what's going to happen once we get into it. But my initial score, 78.
Oh.
73.
74.
Okay, we're actually
clustered.
In a cluster. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm a little off from you guys, but I don't know, man. I enjoyed the heck out of this.
It's good. It's good.
It's such a pleasurable experience. Aroma. Let's kick off our discussion. 7.
I give it an 8.
I give it an 8 as well.
I give it an 8.
This was really enjoyable.
Really nice.
I have many things to say. Go ahead first.
Jules, you go first.
Oh, sure. I was getting a lot of elements out of here, and I don't know if it's just because it was a nice, fresh, breath air, but speaking of breath, like the breadth of the aroma, it's like varied.
Breadth?
The breadth.
Is there a D in that word?
Okay. Eventually. But I mean, getting, everything from the enough spice to sweetness, which was nice. Even
sweetness
hints
really comes through,
Yeah, sweetness really punches through, and then even hints of a bouquet like of a floral component I was getting. It was nice. It was just a hint of it, but and then even a citrus component on the aroma.
I did get the citrus.
I agree with the citrus.
No.
Dutch.
You go ahead.
Okay, so this right here, if some of our viewers are at the beginning of the bourbon journey, this is a perfect academic exercise in terms of the aroma. Not maybe not necessarily the palate, but for the aroma, this is great because it might be missing kind of the bookend aromas, like the very strong floral, and it might be missing kind of the very, very strong oak component. But everything in the middle is represented, and you could sit here and nose this all day, and you will be able to tease out the tiers of aromas that we often talk about. So we can go from the summer fruit to the jam, to the stewed fruits, to the honey, to the sugars and the varying sugars. Yes, you don't get like the floral. Yes, you don't get like the heavy oak. You don't get any of the tannic and things like that you also want to get some experience in. But what a breadth. You are correct. I liked your little whatever pun or whatever you're doing. I agree, and then I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it an 8. Again, not a 9 or a 10 because of the missing of the floral and some of the oak components.
I mean, you guys summarized it for them. I mean, based on Joel's description, I'm thinking he's describing like a 9 or a 10. That's why I was going to ask him what's missing from this.
Like I said, hints of things, right? And
so
to
not
the
intense
point,
enough.
Yeah, not exactly.
It's
you're
a lot
getting
of
a good amount of thing, like again, the breadth of it is there. Yeah. But then like, the intensity of certain things like, and again, like the sweetness is there, spice component. You don't get any of the oak, really. Right. So that's missing. You also don't get the other bookend of the floral. I mean, I was getting hints, and then, like, the citrus really stood out for me. So
it's a great nose. I think what kept me from an 8 was almost like, I got like a maltiness that almost was like an unbaked bread thing that wasn't... It was okay.
Still pleasant,
Yeah,
though.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was like neutral almost, but it kind of enveloped...
Almost too much fermentation.
That's why I like this as an academic exercise.
I agree.
You can sit here. In fact, I would say
it's a really strong 7. I mean, I understand the 8.
I mean, I would pour this in like a cognac snifter or like a red wine or a wine glass, and just pour an ounce and just swirl it around and nose it. Multiple times to get that. Yeah. It's a very good exercise.
It's good.
It's a wonderful exercise.
All right, guys, let's move on to flavor 17.
16.
I give it a 16.
Whoa. I mean, I got a lot. The sweetness comes through. The rye spice comes through. That maltiness that I talked about on the nose, it's in there in the middle, but it's mellowed. It's like a malty graininess, but it's not like a young grain that's off-putting in some of the craft bourbons. It's been mellowed, and now it's got that breadiness almost to it. The orange thing, I kind of got a little bit of a citrus thing, kind of very, very subtle. I really enjoyed the flavor experience. I was trying to think, like, what's missing from this? Yeah, there's things that are missing, but it's excellent. It covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I think for me, I docked it on points because it mellowed out so much compared to the aroma. So aroma was already tamed.
It adds the rye spice, which is not on the nose. That's what I like so much about it.
Yeah, I was getting more of that on the finish, I think. But yeah, like I don't know, from a flavor profile wise, that's why I thought. Again, it just felt like everything turned down.
Oh, I mean, perfect high rye bourbon flavor profile.
For the proof, I think it's just kind of right in the middle in terms of the presentation. I mean, you can start rattling off certain releases from certain legacy distilleries where you could say, wow, this flavor component was very, very well represented with a wonderful foundation as it was presented. I'm like, you're not going to say those things, but you have good solid flavors, but there's a like an immaturity to it. I mean, it's almost like there's this chaotic component to the flavor profile where it's kind of like I look at it like if you're talking about Legos, right? It's just like here's a box of Legos and you can see the potential in that box.
Let me tell you why.
But you get everything represented.
Let me tell you why I think it's worth a higher point, though, because what you described is that craft bourbon thing, right? The immaturity, but it's like an adolescent. it's not like a totally immature bourbon. This is a more refined.
I agree.
Like you get the grain and the maltiness, but it's so much better. Like it's just it's represented in a way that I get that, but it's not off-putting. And that to me that's very impressive. And the fact that this is done at scale.
Yeah,
true.
At this proof point, I don't know. I think you guys should come up a point, but
it's like Dylan at 12 years old, moving,
which is really 35.
right.
It's like
rising to the next level.
Doogie Howser envy.
Right.
Rising to the next level.
That's too much credit, dude.
No. This is like Doogie Howser. Okay. Not Dylan.
There you go.
All right. I don't know. I think you guys are a little bit low, but
I'll hold.
Let's move on to body 7.
I give it a 7.
It's good.
I give it a 6.
For the price? For the price, I thought...
That's value,
man.
Don't factor in
I just feel like it didn't have enough heft.
I thought it was
I thought it was good. I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine. And the proof stands up.
It's there.
It coats your palate.
It makes itself known. And that's what I like about it. You'll never drink this and go, oh, this is thin. No, you'll never say
definitely
that.
not.
But this is not like syrup. Okay, so I think a 7 is a solid number. I think you need to go. It's better than a 6. This is definitely better than a 6.
This should be a 7.
Yeah, it should be a 7.
So are you bullying me into a 7?
I don't bully.
Consider myself bullying.
I never
I'll
bully.
go up. I'll go up to 7.
All right, so
I have never been a bully.
Unanimity. We all agree. 7.
There we go.
He's nothing but a bully.
I have never been a bully, except
This is
one time.
A hostile, stressful environment. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to balance. I originally had an 8. I'm actually going to drop it to a 7.
Wait, we skipped complexity?
Complexity 7.
Oh, 7.
I was wrong. Sorry, complexity.
I gave it an 8.
I see that.
Yeah.
And again, it's the pieces that are there. It may not be fully formed into, for Dutch, the Millennium Falcon that he builds every other day.
It's a Y-wing fighter back there.
Yeah, it's not that, but it's there. It's there and it's available. You can tease it out. I wish the palette
Are you getting fruit?
I am getting fruit.
Beyond the citrus?
The citrus was more on the nose than,
You're not getting
on the
jam,
palate.
though, dude.
You're not getting into the
You're not getting stew.
You don't get depth in terms of the stew and the jam. I agree.
That's what I mean. It's kind of superficial
So you're not
flavor.
getting there, but the complexity is not that. It's about the breadth of the palate, right? So the palate is there. It's available. It may not be pieced together in the way that we want it. And usually that means that you need age and barrel selection, which this does not have.
Yeah.
So that's why I still give it an 8.
I'm still giving it a 7. Okay, now we're at balance, and now I can tell you that I originally had an 8, but I did end up dropping it just a minute ago to a 7.
I gave it a 7.
7.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah. It, for what's here, it's done fine.
Right. Yeah.
But the rye spice does pop a little bit too much on the palate. And the proof carries that even harder. Pushes it even harder.
You know that they're working with young stuff, but however, the reason why it's above a 6 is because for what they have, with the inability to do the barrel selection that they would do for kind of the higher end releases, they are doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking. I mean, on the spectrum of things, this is highly drinkable, right? I mean, you do get the immaturity, the harshness, and things like that, and yet you're not going to sit here and go, "Wow, I'm not going to drink this anymore. I'm going to stop this." You're always going to go and purchase this for $35.
Yeah,
right.
It's fantastic.
Enough said.
All right, next category, finish. I enjoyed the finish 8.
This is one of the more weaker sides for me. I give it a 6.
Oh, yes, 6. Oh, this is the weakest component of this.
I can still taste the rye spice.
Very, very, very short.
Yeah.
Very, very
It's like
short.
almost curt.
Yeah. Curt is a very good word.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Boom. Done. I don't know what's lingering in your mouth there, Dutch, but...
Yeah.
Well, it's like this. I agree. If this is the flavor, it goes like this, but this keeps going. Like that rye core, I still taste it. So the points are mostly for length. Maybe it's more like a 7, I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But,
well, fair enough. If that's what you're experiencing, I'm not getting that.
And it's one of those, too, where nothing is off-putting on the finish. It doesn't make anything worse. It's good.
I want it to last longer.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's really short. It drops off like crazy.
Yeah.
It's dry right at the end.
I don't get any
This is where it is you could tell this is a $35, $40 bourbon.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this is where I wish it was better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stick to my guns on that one. Okay, next category, uniqueness, 8.
I give it a 7.
I gave it a 7.
But I
think
see your 8.
it really depends on the era people watch this.
First of all, it's a unique proof point.
No, I get it. Yeah.
It's a unique proof point. It is
Age-stated,
unique in
too.
that you cannot find anything else on the shelf at this price range with this kind of flavor profile. And I think there are very unique aspects to the flavor profile.
Yeah.
And the experience.
But to me, when I'm talking about uniqueness up
That's
into the
3
eight,
above a 5.
when you get up to the uniqueness in the 8, 9, 10, that usually tells myself, like, again, all of these video archives are for myself, not for anybody else. But what that usually tells me is, like, I have to have it on my shelf.
An 8?
Unfortunately, Old Granddad does not have a space. Does not have space on my shelf.
You're crazy. This deserves a space on your shelf.
It does not.
It absolutely does. Because
there
somebody's
is
going to come to your house and you're going to be like, I need to pour this to you because you're a rookie.
There's no way. There's no way this is going to be on the shelf.
This deserves a spot on your shelf. You're going to have somebody come to your bar and be like,
I'm sorry, but
hey,
it's
Dylan,
not on the shelf.
I'm just getting into higher proof. What's something that can kind of
I don't know what else you want me to say. You're telling me that I need to take off. I mean, like, remember, I have to replace something. So should I replace my BTAC?
Take off one of the 20 bottles of 107.
Should I replace all my Pappies? Should I replace all my Elijah Craigs? Should I replace all my Stack?
Here's the thing for me. It's that it's ubiquitous enough. I don't need to worry about having it on my shelf. I can just go get it.
But it is.
Yeah, it is. It is on the shelf at the store.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, well played.
I like that.
All right, guys. Next category. You could kill this. It's an 8. You could kill this bottle.
You can convince me, but I give it a 7, and I would say it's very high.
What did you give it?
I give it a 7.
I'm sorry. Can we look at Jules' glass here? It is completely empty. That is at least an 8. At least. This is super drinkable.
Can I tell you?
It is.
Can I tell you
super
though?
This is an 8.
The reason why it's not an 8 is because
You've given worse bourbons an 8.
because there are bourbons on that shelf that I would gravitate toward.
Doesn't matter.
That would give me an 8,
If the 3 of us were sitting around enjoying a nice meal and maybe a cigar or something, and this bottle was on the table and that's all we had, we would probably kill it. You can keep sipping it.
Yeah, I mean, but my smile would be fake, and I would say,
No, it
like,
wouldn't
Dutch,
be.
you don't have anything
enjoying every sip
better.
of it.
His smile's always fake, though.
That's true. That's true.
All right, I'm going up.
Thank you.
I'll go up 10.
Thank you for being
You're
honest.
absolutely right. You're absolutely
Thank you for being honest
I would
with
keep
our
drinking this. I am enjoying it. So,
All right.
this is so far like one of the best drinks we've had.
Okay, fine. I will go up on it just so that Dutch can be,
Satisfied.
All right.
He's gonna. If I didn't do this, he's gonna, like, after the camera stop, he's gonna be crying in the corner.
No, I'll just selectively edit it. So it's like, yes, I agree with you, Dutch.
As the clock kind of goes
Clever
back and
editing.
forth.
All right, guys. Next category, aesthetics. I like it. It's a 3.
I have to give it a 4.
I give it a 4, too.
I give it a 4 because there is nothing like this. This very, like, stout.
I mean, it's just,
Right,
stout.
it's just like
I was going to say it's bold.
You know what? The reason I'm gonna go up is this.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah, that's-
fine.
It's like that
You know
is actually
what I love about this? It's like,
uniqueness, guys.
Legit
Uniqueness.
core. Seriously, now that's uniqueness.
you know what?
dude.
A part of me.
Tuesdays.
I mean, this is back in
gonna
the
go to
guild days.
4.
This is my guild days, but I wanted them to change the Old Granddad
font.
to just go like Dad. Yeah, like look at this cork, right? It's like
Yeah, dude, that's
Dad.
half.
That's a dad bottle.
Dad.
of cork.
Yeah. Dad bod, right? Dad
bod,
bottle.
that is a dad bod.
cork. Right here. Dad. Dad
It goes to
114.
show weak dads today. This is
Yeah.
old granddad.
Oh god. All right.
Godfather.
Final category of value, 114 proof, 30
Come on.
$30. It's got to
Come
be a
on.
5.
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
I gave it a 4.
You are
You
wrong.
are insane.
You are
sir.
insane. And
Okay, I gave it a 5. Yeah, sorry,
Thank you.
sorry. Yeah,
Seriously?
This is the epitome of a value burger.
you're right,
This should
you're
be a
right.
6.
Yeah. This is a 5. This is truly a 5.
I mean, you can't. I mean, the proof, the flavor, nothing off-putting.
It's great.
So good. All right, guys, let's get our final tally.
Why would you buy anything else? To
gotta
be
double
honest?
check.
I know. Seriously, for the money? Seriously.
Okay, my final score, 78.
75.
Can't believe it's 76.
Which gives us our official Curiosity Public score for Old Granddad 114. Very, very respectable 76. Just like Dylan scored it.
Yeah, this is
I mean, solid silver.
I really appreciate
high silver.
I appreciate this availability because it's just one of those things like
Double silver.
Yeah, you know, I mean, having been on this journey for over 25 whatever years, drinking these things, like it just gives me it's almost like a little like safety blanket. Like I know I could it's comforting because I can always go back to it.
This is on the
right.
shelf.
If all of this other stuff, all this garbage goes away, as long as this stays on the shelf for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna come back to this. I'll pay $40, $35. This is there. It's solid. Yeah. So.
I like
All right. Jules, sticks out.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, let us know. Subscribe for more videos for Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private membership program here on YouTube and on Patreon. We're also selling t-shirts. Links will be in the description. We do have a Patreon out there. Not too many episodes lately, but they are out there. Or podcasts. What did I say?
Patreon.
Oh, podcasts. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Worst intro. Or
outro.
Wow, even worse. Good night. Stay curious.
Good night. Good night. It's 8 a.m. outside. It's 8 a.m. today,
We're just getting
folks.
started, y'all. Oh my god!
Wow.
Woo.
This is why we're like,
This is why we're not professionals.
This is why we're bleeding money.
So I have an anecdote about this bottle, which was that we went to like a steakhouse and we went bar hopping afterwards. Like the second place we went, I started ordering this, and Jeff started drinking it with me, and like we ended up at another bar, and like they just blacked out because we were chugging this stuff. Wow. Like, and then I was like the only person that was still alive at the end of the night, pretty much.
Wow.
But this thing is a killer because it's high proof.
The proof sneaks up on you.
It sneaks up on you, and you could be sitting there sipping this and not realizing it doesn't taste like 114.
No, not at all.
I was at a steakhouse a couple days ago, and I was drinking Booker's.
Oh man, Booker's
just like nonstop, right? And they're like, we had this like bonding moment. This one guy was like, oh, my favorite bourbon, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, was George T. Stagg. I was like,
really?
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, this is, I gotta say, that story is kind of interesting. Jeff, come on the show. Let's see what you're made of.
Jeff does not watch this stuff.
Nobody watches this stuff.